Welcome to your Denver City Council. Please stand by. Full coverage of your Denver City Council begins now.
Good afternoon. Today's meeting is being interpreted into Spanish. Alejandro, would you please introduce yourself and let our viewers know how to enable translation on their devices?
Yes, this is Sam. I'll be giving the instructions this afternoon. I am Sam Guzman with the Community Language Co-op, and I'm here with my associate Alejandro, and we will be your interpreters for this afternoon. I will go ahead and give the instructions in Spanish. Buenas tardes a todos. Mi nombre es Samuel Guzmán con la CLC y estoy aquí con mi compañero Alejandro y seremos los intérpretes para esta tarde. Si desea activar la interpretación en español, elija o oprima el icono en la pantalla que dice globo y dice interpretación y seleccione su idioma preferido, en este caso inglés o español. Gracias. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank
Sam.
you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Sam and Alejandro. Welcome to the Denver City Council meeting of Monday, July 25th, 2022, and our first early start. Council members, please rise as you are able and join Council Member Ortega in the Pledge of Allegiance. Council members, please join Council Member Ortega as they lead us in the Denver City Council land acknowledgement.
Thank you, Madam President. The Denver City Council honors and acknowledges that the land on which we reside is the traditional territory of the Ute, Cheyenne, and Arapaho peoples. We also recognize the 48 contemporary tribal nations that are historically tied to the lands that make up the state of Colorado. We honor elders past, present, and future, and those who have stewarded the land through generations. We also recognize that government, academic, and cultural institutions were founded upon and continue to enact exclusions and erasures of Indigenous peoples. May this acknowledgement demonstrate a commitment to working to dismantle ongoing legacies of oppression and inequities and recognize the current and future contributions of Indigenous communities in Denver.
Thank you. Madam Secretary, roll call.
Black?
Here.
Cedabaca?
Here.
Clark?
Here.
Flynn?
Here.
Gilmore?
Here.
Herndon? Hines? Cashman?
Here.
Kniech?
Here.
Ortega?
Here.
Sandoval?
Here.
Sawyer?
Here.
Madam President?
Here.
11 members present.
There are 11 members present. Council has a quorum. Approval of the minutes. Approval of the minutes. Are there any corrections to the minutes of July 18th? Seeing none, the minutes stand approved. Council announcements. Are there any announcements today? Councilmember Black.
Thank you, Madam President. I just wanted to invite people to volunteer for my festival I'm having on August 20th called South by Southeast. And it's very fun to volunteer, and I like to announce it to everyone for the few weeks before and see if we can get some new faces there. If you're interested, you can email me or look on my website for more information. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I will announce really quickly, Council District 3 is holding a movie in the park on Wednesday in Loma Lincoln Park. So I look forward to seeing a lot of our Loma Lincoln Park neighbors in Loma that night. I think the movie's Dog with a wonderful German Shepherd. Thank you, everyone. There are no presentations, there are no communications, there are no proclamations on consent. Bills for introduction. Madam Secretary, please read the bills for introduction.
From Finance and Governance, 22805, a bill for an ordinance to amend ordinance number 309, series of 2007, to change the appropriation requirements of the Denver Preschool Program Special Revenue Fund. 22806, a bill for an ordinance to make an appropriation in the Denver Preschool Program Special Revenue Fund. 22807, a bill for an ordinance amending the classification and pay plan for employees in the career service and for certain employees not in the career service. 22808, a bill for an ordinance making a rescission from and an appropriation in the General Government Special Revenue Fund series to make a cash transfer to and an appropriation in the Capital Improvements and Capital Maintenance Fund. From Land Use, Transportation, and Infrastructure, 22803, a bill for an ordinance designating 1090 Cherokee Street as a structure for preservation. From Safety, Housing, Education, and Homelessness, 22716, a bill for an ordinance amending Division 11, Article 8 of Chapter 2 of the Denver Revised Municipal Code to update procedures and transfer governance of the Crime Prevention and Control Commission from the Department of Public Health and Environment to the Department of Safety. 22788, a bill for an ordinance approving a proposed second amendatory agreement between the City and County of Denver and Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment for city enforcement of the Tobacco Retail Compliance Check Inspection Program that targets youth access to tobacco products. 22792, a bill for an ordinance approving a proposed intergovernmental agreement between the City and County of Denver and City of Glendale to respond to animal-related calls and complaints within the City of Glendale boundaries. And 22804, a bill for an ordinance revising Article 3, Chapter 11 of the Revised Municipal Code.
Thank you. Council members, this is your last opportunity to call out an item. Councilmember Ortega, will you be making the motions for us this evening?
Happy to do so.
Now I'll do a recap. Under resolutions, Councilmember Sawyer has called out resolutions 799, 800, and 801 for a vote. And Councilmember Ortega has called out resolution 770 for a vote. Under bills for introduction, no items have been called out. Under bills for final consideration, Councilmember Ortega has called out Bill 784 for comments. Under pending, no items have been called out. Madam Secretary, please put the first item on our screens. Councilmember Ortega, will you please put resolutions 799, 800, and 801 on the floor for adoption?
I move that council resolutions 22-0799, 0800, and 0801 be adopted in a block.
It has been moved. Can I get a second? Thank you. It has been moved and seconded. Comments by members of council. Councilmember Sawyer.
Thanks, Madam President. These are 3 CASR contracts that are on call. We talked about them in committee, and CASR has agreed to work on the reporting structure on the back end. Really appreciate that, but since that's not done yet, I will be voting no on these tonight. Thanks. Or today, I guess. It's so weird to be here at 3:30 in the afternoon. Thanks.
Thank you. Seeing no one else in the queue, Madam Secretary, roll call on council resolutions 22-799, 800, and 801.
Sawyer?
No.
Black?
Aye.
Cedabacca?
Aye.
Clark?
Aye.
Flynn?
Aye.
Gilmore?
Aye.
Herndon?
Aye.
Cashman? Kinich?
Aye.
Ortega?
Aye.
Sandoval?
Aye.
Madam President.
Aye. Madam Secretary, close the voting and announce the results.
1 nay, 11 ayes.
11 ayes. Council resolutions 799, 800, and 801 have been adopted. Madam Secretary, please put the next item on our screens. Councilmember Ortega, will you please put resolution 770 on the floor for adoption?
I move that Council Resolution 22-0770 be adopted.
It has been moved and seconded. Comments by members of council. Councilwoman Ortega.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm calling this out. I received some information that actually came out in 2021, and I didn't see it until about 2 weeks ago. And this was related to the exorbitant salaries that are paid, particularly to the CEO of one of our nonprofit organizations, and specifically for this contract. I believe in the work of the Solution Center, and I think that is an important program, but I firmly believe, and you all have heard me talk about the fact that in many cases we have multiple organizations touching the lives of one person, and getting to a place where we can look at how we maximize efficiencies around truly having the kind of positive impact on the lives of the people that these dollars are being spent on. And when we have an $880,000 salary for a nonprofit organization, these are 2019 numbers, that also got a $300,000 bonus. And it's an organization that relies primarily on government dollars. City money, Caring for Denver money, those are taxpayer dollars, as well as Medicaid reimbursement funds. I just think that as this body that has to approve these contracts, I would like to see us address that so that we have some standardization, if you will, because this particular organization bills at a much higher rate than all the other behavioral health organizations do, and to not have some consistency in how those charges are applied is very concerning to me. So I'm going to be voting no on this contract tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Ortega. Seeing no one else in the queue, I'll chime in with just a remark of my own. So the contract is about running the Solution Center. This body has previously and unanimously approved for the building of the facility and for MHCD to run the operations. It is in Council District 3, and I will be supporting tonight's resolution. All right, Madam Secretary, roll call on Resolution 22-0770.
Ortega.
No.
Sandoval.
Aye. Aye.
Sawyer.
Aye.
Black.
Aye.
Cedabacca.
No.
Clark.
Aye.
Flynn.
No.
Gilmore.
Aye.
Herndon.
Aye.
Cashman. Kinich. Madam President.
Aye. Madam Secretary, close the voting and announce the results.
Three nays, 9 ayes.
9 ayes. Council Resolution 770 has been adopted. Madam Secretary, please put the next item on our screens. Councilmember Ortega, go ahead with your comments on Bill 784.
This is a bill for basically the Parks Legacy Fund. And what I just wanted to draw attention to is the quality of care of our parks that oftentimes differs from one part of the city to another. And I have not had an opportunity to call our parks folks, but I recently went to an event at Barnum Park and have been there many times. Growing up, that was the park that I would go to after school. I actually worked at the rec center during school, and it was always very well maintained. And at this event, when I got to the top part where the pavilion is, I thought the bald spots were where the dog park was. And then as I walked further, I saw a fenced area with a very nice wrought iron fence, that was actually the dog park area. So I was very shocked to see how deplorable of conditions we've allowed that park to turn into. I know some of our parks, we now have natural areas that used to be well-maintained. And with all the new dollars that we have received into our Parks Department, I just want to make sure that we're treating them all the same in terms of the way they look and the way that communities across our city get to enjoy these amazing amenities that are in our neighborhoods. But it's all about applying the same quality of improvements and just general maintenance on these facilities. So just drawing attention to that, and I will be following up with our Parks Department specifically on this one park. Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes the items to be called out. All bills for introduction are ordered published except for Council Bill 22-804, which will be voted on after its public hearing tonight. Council members, remember this is a consent or block vote, and you'll need to vote aye. Otherwise, this is your last chance to call it an item for a separate vote. Councilmember Ortega, will you please put resolutions for adoption and the bills on final consideration for final passage on the floor?
Will do. I move that resolutions be adopted and bills on final consideration be placed on final consideration and do pass in a block for the following items. 22-0862, 0809, 0750, 0536, 0802, 0680, 0681, 0693, 0747, 0793, 0783, 0784, 0785, 0787, 0791, 0790, 0736, 0775, 0780, and that's it.
Thank you. It has been moved and seconded. Madam Secretary, roll call.
Black?
Aye.
Cedabacca?
Aye.
Clark?
Aye.
Flynn?
Aye.
Gilmore?
Aye.
Herndon?
Aye.
Cashman?
Aye.
Kinich?
Aye.
Ortega?
Aye.
Sandoval?
Aye.
Sawyer?
Aye.
Madam President,
Aye. Madam Secretary, close the voting and announce the results.
12 ayes.
12 ayes, the resolutions have been adopted and the bills have been placed upon final consideration and do pass. Tonight, there will be a required public hearing on Council Bill 22-637, changing the zoning classification for 4710 North Stewart Street in Berkeley. A required public hearing on Council Bill 22-0694, changing the zoning classification for 5101 Leetsdale Drive in Washington, Virginia Vale, and a required public hearing on Council Bill 22-0804, revising Article 3, Chapter 11 of the Revised Municipal Code. Anyone wishing to speak on any of these matters must go online to sign up during the recess of council. If there are no objections from council, members of council, council will recess until 5:30 p.m.